And we are back. It feels like it's been an age. Welcome to the 2023 Qatar Grand Prix qualifying. My name's Blake, aka Break, and we're here, friends. Welcome back, everyone, in the YouTube live stream to this qualifying watch along on a Friday. This feels like sacrilege. I can't believe it. So if you're tuning in, just watching this, here's how these streams and these YouTube videos work. So we go live a little bit earlier before qualifying. We'll talk about what's happened in free practice 1, and then we will sync up and watch qualifying together. So you can use this as a side commentary, go back and watch the qualifying broadcasts, and we can talk about what I see happening, which may be different to what you might see on the broadcast. My preferred method for watching Formula 1 is using F1 TV Pro and Multiviewer. If you're not using both of those, like, it's not a plug, they don't pay me anything, it's just like literally that is the best way, that is the best viewing experience as a fan and as a former engineer. So that is my best advice for watching Formula 1. Yeah, so anyway, and if you need help, I won't even say it, you guys know what to do. So welcome, let's talk a little bit. I see everybody in the chat. Sabu, Katie, Henny, hello, how we doing? Yeah, a lot of you guys saying you guys also use Multiviewer. It's seriously spectacular, and I've posted a couple of TikToks and shorts about it. But anyway, let's get into talking about it. I don't want to waste any of your time. Free practice 1, they've resurfaced the track. We have not been to Qatar since 2021. In 2021, pole was rapid. We had was it a 123, 196? I'm having a brain fart now, actually. Needless to say, FP1 today, qualifying was insanely slow. The track surface was new, it was dusty, it was windy. The drivers are asking their engineers, hey, did the wind change? And I put a couple things on the Twitter feed about all that. So pretty interesting stuff today. Just reading a couple messages in the chat. All right, we're back, sorry. So yeah, so if you were wondering what the sprint tire weekend or the sprint weekend tire allocation looks like, they get one less set of tires, they get one less medium, one more medium and 2 less softs. I think in qualifying today, most teams, looking at what tires they ran, everybody except for Alpine, Aston Martin, and McLaren ran a soft tire. So that means for the rest of the weekend, you need to save. If you think you're going to get into sprint qualifying 3 tomorrow, you need to save a set of soft tires, or you should save a set of soft tires. You can use a used soft, but you need 2 mediums left. So yeah, a lot of people are going to end up running a hard on Sunday, possibly looking at a 2-stop. But in terms of performance, it was pretty, Verstappen had a 0.5% margin over Ferrari of Sainz. Let me just pull up my little scene real quick. Here's the performance order from today. So Verstappen about 0.4% off of Sainz, or ahead of Sainz. Alonso a little bit further back. This order is kind of strange, right? We've got Verstappen. This is the fastest driver per team, as there's only 10 teams or 10 entries shown here. Verstappen, Sainz, Alonso, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg. I'm not really used to seeing like Haas really optimizing free practice 1. And if you're wondering what this document is that I'm looking at, I've published this so all of you can see it over on buymeacoffee.com/break. So members, this is free for everyone, but members get access to all the qualifying at all the race reports. And another point, good point there, Alonso was on a medium. Alonso set his fastest time on a medium. Nobody really ran high fuel. If we look at some of the runs, like here's a selection of people's run plans through the morning. You can see huge track evolution. Verstappen starting at a 95 second, so 135, and then finishing around a down here at the end of the session, all the way down in a 127.5 or so. So huge track evolution. The track was crap. And if you notice another thing, here's these are some high fuel runs. 2 things stick out to me immediately, right? Obviously the Mercedes high fuel pace, much faster than anybody else. I don't think they're running quite high fuel. I think they're running quite a bit less fuel than everybody else. And then you notice everybody else, they don't have any degradation. Usually in high fuel runs, you see people's lap times, dropping away like this, but here they're getting faster. The track was still just ramping up quite a bit for everybody. So I really think this information, some teams didn't even do a high fuel run, and I honestly kind of don't blame them. In terms of Red Bull versus Ferrari, very similar top speed. Very similar cornering performance, some differences in the way they've approached the corners, but nothing really stand out. Alonso on the medium, for a medium tire, genuinely looks pretty strong. Maybe some Aston Martin vibes this weekend. And pretty much everything else, nothing too interesting. Checo a bit off of Max. Leclerc and Sainz actually pretty close, within a tenth. But the only thing I did notice was the fact that, where is this? Hamilton looks like he was running more downforce. So he was 2-3 kilometers an hour slower on the straights, faster through sector 2, and then he just had a little bit of a wobble in turn 14-15. I really am not sure. Like, he was 2/10 up on Russell before the wobble, and even if he lost a tenth, I don't see him losing a tenth if he puts that lap together. So yeah, maybe we might see them run a little bit maybe we might see them running a little bit more downforce. And if you look at I think Hamilton should have been a little bit faster. You guys can't hear the TV audio, can you? Mode push. I did not pay for the shirt because my friend Matt sent it to me, and I ran into him at the GT World Challenge race. But yeah, I mean, I think we have to wait and see, because this qualifying session, or this free practice session, was absolute chaos, right? Like, I don't think we're going to learn a whole lot. I think the teams in these sprint weekends really have to be trust their tools and their preparation before the event, hit the ground running, adapt as quickly as possible. The track surface on a new circuit is usually so insanely slippery, and which is one of the reasons why I think people probably didn't run a high fuel. Some of them didn't run a high fuel run this morning. I don't think that's crazy at all, genuinely. So let's just wait and see. Honestly, if you guys are watching along with multiviewer, be sure to set your offset to 30,000 milliseconds, so 30 seconds. A couple quick questions from the chat that I've just seen. Edjo5 says, what's your favorite program to use when analyzing F1 data? Python, because the fast F1 API is in Python. Yaz said, was the dust on the track just because it was the first session? Yes, but at the same time, when it's super windy, you're going to always have wind being blown back onto the track. And then Krya asks, how detrimental is the sand that all the cars are sucking up? They probably have to change the airbox filters or clean them after the session. The other thing that's really important on these sandy tracks is when there's a lot of sand on the surface, the leading edges of wings and floors and strakes in the diffuser, so like small carbon edges, they can get massively eroded away. It's like being sandblasted. I remember 2013, my first time going to Bahrain with Force India, like the leading, like the nose of the floor, it comes to like a point like this. The whole leading edge was eroded from being sandblasted. So yeah, be careful out there. So it's time for qualifying. Hamilton pole in 2021 and ran off and won it. But I went back and I posted something on Twitter. The Max and Lewis last time just ran away with everything. Nobody even stood a chance. We're looking on board, watching the garage right now. Is there a disco going off in Red Bull's garage? How does Aston look? I mean, considering Alonso was on the medium, he honestly looks pretty good. He looks pretty good, honestly. So if you guys are just tuning in, make sure that you're using Multiviewer and F1 TV Pro to watch along. Synchronize up with us. Set your live offset to 30 seconds. It'll say 30,000 milliseconds, and we're good. Frame rate issues in the garage, yeah. Look at him dangling the dry ice over him. Is there anybody new in the stream today who's not hung out here on the Break F1 channel for a qualifying watch along? If you're new, I'd like to say hello. And mods, if you see new people, give them a little warm welcome. We're glad to have you guys, and I hope you Hope you enjoy hanging out, watching qualifying with us. And this is something we do throughout the weekend. So we'll do usually qualifying and race watch along, but I might do a sprint race watch along tomorrow. Kaori, Peter, hello. Val, what's going on? Welcome. Zalan, hello. And Oscar as well, dude. Welcome, everybody. Yaz is new to the YouTube viewing. Yeah, so we used to stream this. Yan, hello as well. And Rodrigo. But yeah, so we usually do these on Twitch, but we've moved over to YouTube recently. And it's just been great to interact with the YouTube community. So the track exit is green. We've got a couple people in the pit lane right now. Perez, Verstappen, and Bottas on the circuit. I just need to double check the TV sync is synced up with my timing, because it looks like TV and timing are a little bit out of sync for me at the moment. But yeah, so another thing to let you guys know about, we are going to probably watch qualifying tonight. Sorry, we'll do a qualifying analysis tonight. I'm thinking maybe 3 hours from now. So I'm thinking we might do it. Rear limited, well, that's a thing, because you can also massively ruin front tires here as well. It's totally possible. Like, there's not a whole lot of traction zones that are like super severe traction, because you have lots of medium and high speed corners. There's a couple of low speed corners, but a lot of the load will be from lateral, and there's a lot of lateral like heavy throttle stuff. So I think you can have either end going on this place. Track's warm. It's at the evening, but it's still warm enough, so we'll see. I'm just checking my sync real quick. It looks like, yeah, I've got to add 55. I've got to add about, oh, heck. I know what I did. Yeah, so my live offset right now is about 45 seconds. Oh, we've got the Alpines side by side on the pit exit. Go on, girls. Be careful. Behave. Yeah, I'm running about 45 milliseconds on my timing offset. You're thinking the soft tire might be a one and done around here? It's totally possible. It is entirely possible. I think also the grip will still be quite low from the new surface, and it will be it'll be ramping up. Mostly parked, dude. Thank you for the 199 super chat. New to your qualifying, not your race days. Well, welcome to a Friday qualifying session. We'll be doing more of the normal and sprint qualifying sessions in the future. So fastest lap time in free practice 1 was a 27.4 on a soft, right? And let's just see, like, free qualifying 1 is about getting a lap in, setting a banker, and for your knockout teams like Alpha Tauri, Alfa Romeo, and Haas were quick in free practice 1, but I'm not sure how they're going to go here. It's getting that. I think Williams, not a whole lot of emphasis on top speed here. I think Williams may be, they're in the same ballpark as everyone else, so Williams may be a little bit on the struggle bus as well. Hamilton and Russell out on a medium. Hamilton and Russell in free practice 1 did hard medium. So that means they only will have 2 mediums for the rest of the weekend that are new. No, they've gone out on a used medium. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I basically Merc think they have plenty of margin on a medium. They've used a used medium. Yeah, just to set a banker and see if it's good enough. Red Bulls are also on scrub softs. So if Red Bull are on scrub softs, that means they gave back a hard after free practice 1, which makes sense. They don't. They need to have at least 2 sets of mediums for tomorrow. I kind of like you. Tribby says I kind of like how fast the circuit is. I do too. I find it. I don't remember anything about 2021 Grand Prix, but the track is pretty cool. So Verstappen on a 26.8. We are already, nearly a second faster than the end of free practice one on a U soft. Brian Halo. Hello, mate. Yeah, it honestly looks like a really cool circuit. Alonso goes top with a 26.7. Sabu with a good point. It's the upside of this being a MotoGP track, which makes it quite flowing. Any MotoGP fans in the chat? I would really like to spend some time watching MotoGP, but I'd also like to spend a lot of time watching IndyCar, NASCAR, WEC, IMSA. Thomas, hello, brother. Gasly with a pretty stinky fast time there. Gasly in... I mean, Alpine were nowhere in free practice one, so interesting. Sargent, yeah. Norris top on a new soft. Norris is on a new set of bags, baby. And he is a 26 flat. Fastest lap time of the weekend so far. By far. On board with Max Verstappen right now on a little replay. A traffic run? Oof. The closing speed. Ugh. Alright, it's a Ferrari and the Mercedes. That's Russell and Sainz. GP said don't give him a toe down to turn one. Norris's lap got dropped. Track limits. And I think we knew that this is going to be a track limit circuit after watching some of the onboards from last year. So Norris does not have a good time on the board at the moment. Oof. I think we could see some upsets due to laps being deleted in this session for sure. GP's sense of humor is absolutely classy. I'm a big fan. I think the interesting thing today is going to be the qualifying analysis later. I think we're going to have maybe some upsets in this qualifying session with track limits and everything else. In Q1, traffic is also, as we've seen, going to be a huge issue. Right now, Russell, P17 in the pits. He's done a wake-up run on used medium. Both the Mercedes on used mediums just to ease into the session. But there's 10 minutes left in the session, and I don't really think that's a problem for them. They'll be fine. Norris went off the track at turn 5, so that is the that's the 5th corner on the track. Oh, sorry guys and gals. Big brain. It is the turn before turn 6. Yep. After turn 4. I mean, realistically, I don't know how Red Bull are surviving without me, honestly. Just kidding. I'm embarrassed. Will Buxton. How much fuel do they burn per hot lap? About 2 liters, roughly. It depends on the circuit, but it's about 2 liters a lap. Coco Bello asks, what's the tire degradation? We don't know because the track was ramping up quite quickly. So Norris is backed out of this lap. Norris does not have a time on the board. Still 10 minutes to go. What tire is Norris on? So Norris is on his new soft. Okay, this isn't Norris's first run anyway. Alonso, a 25.6. I mean, the track is ramping up massively. Still a second, 2.5 seconds off last year, or 2021's pole, but Alonso absolutely zooming. I think, I mean, Mercedes going out on the medium at first wasn't a silly idea. Like, you're just like one run offset in terms of your tire learning on the relevant tire. I mean, there is a huge amount of ramp up on the circuit, but last one over the line, it's going to come down to track limits, putting the lap together, and Q3 we shouldn't have to worry about traffic, but we're still going to be, at the end of Q1, we're going to be worrying about traffic a bit. Well, King Polar, that's a good point, but their medium run on very tired mediums was very slow. They did 1 minute 33s. I mean, so it's like, I mean, let's put this in perspective. They're basically, what was the lap time they put in? I've lost it, actually. Oh, they haven't set a time. Did they lose their times? Mediums, yeah, build ups. Sorry, bro. Yeah, number 9 Ava says no Twitch today. We stream everything F1 is on YouTube now. Games will be on Twitch still. Hamilton and Russell are out on softs. Sector 1, 31.8. And then, I mean, they're half a second off in Sector 1. Just shy of half a second off. Bottas, purple, Sector 2. Oof. I mean, Russell's Sector 2 was just off of Bottas, so the track is huge. I don't think we need split call yet. And that's part of the challenge, is managing traffic and getting a good lap in right now. Russell straight up to P2 on the soft. Never mind what I said about the medium being irrelevant. They've obviously taken advantage of the track evolution and put in a decent lap time despite not quite nailing Sector 1. And if I have to guess, I think neither Russell nor Hamilton nailed the braking point at turn 1 on their first run on the soft, because they don't need to. Quality is reckoned down to the wire in Q3. Yeah, exactly, because we're also going to have a load of ramp up through this session. 6 minutes left to go in qualifying 1. Oofed. Who's getting knocked out? I mean, Norris is finally going out on soft. There's 5 minutes left. If there's a red flag or anything, we could have Norris in a bad place. So the AWS cornering analysis, I don't understand why they've picked Alonso and Verstappen. I guess it takes them quite a bit of time to process it. I feel like the AWS like corner analysis graphics are always like, what does that mean? Like it's like, it's really weird looking at that. I'm like, what context does that have? Like, it's not even relevant considering Verstappen's 8/10 off of Alonso. There's no context. The broadcasters don't refer to it. And so I just really feel like that's missing. It does sometimes the AWS stuff, because the commentators aren't involved with it either. It does feel like sometimes a random number generator. We've got a lot of drivers out on new softs right now. So Red Bull's first run was on a scrub soft, and they're now going out on a fresh soft. Ferrari also did a used soft. As we discussed, Mercedes did a used medium to start, and everybody is out on a used or a brand new soft now, except Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg has not done a second run yet. Leclerc tops at 25.4. And as a great point that somebody in chat pointed out earlier, and Karun has re-mentioned, I don't think there's any support series at the track this weekend, which is a little bit weird. I expect the grandstands to be not particularly rammed. Maybe a good track to go to in the future if it's not super popular locally. Norris crap sector 1, but he's gone purple in sector 2 currently. $200 US dollars for the weekend at Qatar. Not bad. I guess flights are the only thing expensive. So despite a scrappy sector 1, I mean, Norris's sector 1 was only a 10th off best. So, yeah. So everybody's going to do a second run on their soft. Track ramp up is reasonable. Champagne or mostly Park Dude with another 199 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Seriously, that means a lot to me. Champagne or Rosewater? I think it'll be Rosewater. I think all of the circuits out here are probably Rosewater. Because alcohol is not really down with the locals. The Rosewater is disgusting as well. In Bahrain 2014, after Checo got on the podium, I smelled the bottle. I was like, there's no way that's going anywhere near my mouth. Norris with a oof. Looks like he was all right. Verstappen 25 flat. And keep in mind our pole time in 2021 was a 23.1. I don't think we're going to get into the low 23s, but let's see. Let's see. I mean, that run was probably 2 laps of fuel in the car. Is Russell and the asset, like Russell's being an absolute, that's not fair. I don't know if it's Russell, but Russell's being a little bit annoying in this qualifying session to other cars around him on track. I don't know if his race engineer's not feeding him info or if he's just trying to be a bit of a weapon. Qualifying mid to low 24s, yeah, that's probably reasonable, Quabs. So who are we likely to lose here? Lawson's on a personal best, and he's half a second off of Albon in P15. Lawson very likely to get bumped. Norris is not at risk right now, no. Norris is 1.2 seconds to the bump zone. Lawson, not an improvement in sector 2. I don't see Lawson improving. Magnussen doesn't do anything else. Yep, Lawson gets bumped. Unlucky. 1.6. 6/10 off. Sonoda is lost in the session. He's washed now, right? That's how the internet says it. Yeah, can we get a rip in the chat for Lawson? Albon gets bumped. Albon gets bumped. Can we get Albon washed in the chat as well? Just kidding. Stroll on a personal best right now, but he's currently P19. P17. A little... Fucking hell. Alonso putting 1.1 seconds on his teammate. Alonso 1.1 seconds on Stroll. I'm sitting here squinting at the timing screen thinking, Albon bumps Sargent. Come on, Albon. Like, honestly, this track will not be good for the Williams. So Jess Hawkins in the car win. I didn't realize this, but it kind of makes sense. She doesn't have a super license, so she can't even do a free practice 1 test. So Q1 is over. We have lost Sargent after Albon knocked him out. Stroll is over 1.1 seconds off his teammate Lawson. Also a reasonable 5/6 tenths to Lawson, or to Lawson, 5/6 tenths to Tsunoda. Magnussen out, Zhou out. Hulkenberg, decent. Magnussen, we'll look at their laps in the qualifying analysis, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Lawson and Magnussen with issues. Bottas and Zhou, a big difference as well. Zhou absolutely pee nowhere. I'm not surprised something wasn't very wrong for Zhou. Zhou ran 3 tires, so did Magnussen and Bottas. Russell ran 3 tires as well, but one of those was a medium, so it doesn't matter. Kevin's first time at the circuit as well. I mean, it's everybody's first or second time at the circuit. I really don't feel like that is a factor. It's more a factor of just putting everything together at once. Bit of traffic, a bit of the wrong thing, pushing a little bit too much, the car getting a gust of wind puts you offline, you're fucked. You know, and if you have an oopsie in turn 13, 14, 15, oof. Watching a couple replays here. And see, this is the point in the broadcast where I'm watching Sky and there's silence, the broadcasters are talking. What I think would be super cool is rather than just like replaying driver radio, which is kind of cool, I would be talking about the telemetry, like what happened, who lost where, who lost this. Stroll, where did he lose to Alonso? Why did Magnus get dropped? Why was Zhou so far off? We don't get to see or talk about any of that, and it's really frustrating. Like, looking at Zhou, he had worst sector 1, second worst sector 2, and second worst sector 3. Magnussen was strong in sector 2 but weak in sector 1 and 3. Lawson had a weak sector 2, which really set him off. He wasn't too far off of Tsunoda in 1 and 3, so yeah, most of it was in the middle. I'd love to talk to Sky about data. Yeah, I think so. That's why I'm listening to you and not them. Imagine if you could do both. And I think they do have some content on the red button, but meh. Yeah, but I mean, if you've got the international feed or Sky, you can be watching this, and it's like we could be adding value to this. So that's why you guys hang out here, because I will tell you everything important that they're saying, and I will also give you twice as much more. Hamilton, Tsunoda, and Lawson in trouble with the stewards. Noted, failing to follow race director's instruction, maximum lap time. So Hamilton, Tsunoda, and Lawson had a outlap or in-lap, which was too slow. Well, if you guys enjoyed this stream, make sure your Formula One loving friends know about this as well. We'll be live probably for the sprint race and definitely for the Grand Prix. And I feel like my strength is not my live commentary, but definitely come back. Hopefully at 9 o'clock. So in 2.5 hours, I will be walking through the data from qualifying, and I've got a handful of notes of things we need to look at. For example, Q1 exits. What happened? Where were the gaps? You know. I think that's pretty interesting stuff. But we're not even into Q2 or Q3 yet. We've got so much more going on, man. What a shame for Logan. Yeah, and honestly, Soy Alfie, another point is the fact that this is not a Williams circuit. There's effectively one long straight, and that car is not a downforce car. It's a straight line car. But yeah. No direct coverage from me here, as I've not found a sports bar yet. F1 TV days are now over, so always love the stream. You can get F1 TV. Where did Alonso? Murillo asks, where did Alonso gain 1.1 seconds on Stroll? If you tune in at 9 o'clock, so in 2.5 hours from now, I will talk about that in the qualifying analysis stream. He gained it by having talent. Absolutely shocking. I'm actually enjoying getting a bit of feedback from Vals, because he usually has a pretty clear and objective view for the stuff and has interesting comments, except for when he talks about why they don't want Andretti in the sport. The super fresh tarmac does look super cool, dude. Cyan Edits says, I see a non-Red Bull getting pole. I don't. I mean, it could definitely happen, but I don't. Yeah, if the F1 timing or the fast F1 data had steering angle, that would be great. So, on the track, Piastri, Sainz, Norris, and Bottas going out. Cry says, do you have any merch? And will you have it, Austin, if you go? I do not have any merch because I tried using Teespring, but they are absolutely shocking, terrible quality, and I do not want to sell anything to you guys which is low quality. The only problem with that is it then becomes $30-something for a t-shirt, which bothers me, so I need to figure it out. Yeah, but we need to talk. Okay, Tony Cohen Brown has some of the best merch, and I need to talk to her about who she's using as well. This shirt here is from my buddy Matt. Look up Mode Push. He sells these. They're fucking cool. He sent me one. Stickers, I don't have anything yet. I need to work on it. F1 for nerds. I kind of liked Horny for Data. That was on our first run of shirts. Richard, so an interesting question while we're getting into our first laps in Q3 getting underway. Richard says, why don't they want Andretti? Because when Andretti come in, the other teams are likely to lose money in the short term. Jesse says, I just want a bucket hat with Fraud Watch on the front. I'm making a note of that right now. Watching Piastri here. Piastri's flying. That part of the track is super cool. 12, 13, 14. It's like just dabbing the throttle, lifting off the throttle to get the car rotated with keeping just enough throttle not to push you right off the track. Absolutely awesome. So Piastri, Verstappen, Sainz, and Norris, Leclerc all on used softs. So, you know, Sainz and Piastri's softs are 7 laps old. Bottas on a new soft gone up. Bottas is going to struggle. I mean, Valtteri's already run. That's Bottas's 4th soft tire. Bottas probably not expecting to make sprint qualifying 3 tomorrow. Yeah, but he's got 6 softs in total. How can I tell if they changed tires or not? If you look on the timing screen, right here, if they have a slash through the tire, it's a previously used tire. Yeah, everybody's just throwing in purples right now. Everybody, the track's still ramping up. 25.2 by Gasly on a used or on a new soft. I expect us to be into the high 24s this session at that rate. There's 9 minutes 40 seconds left in Q2. So most of the fast cars are using used tires. They're going to come back, chill out in the garage for a little bit. And yeah, Max has been quiet on the radio, vibing out. Yes. Most of the communications, if you look on multi-viewer for F1, you can look at the AI radio transcriptions, which I have up all the time because it's a lot easier than listening to a shitload of radios. But most of the communications in qualifying right now on the track are communicating gaps, when to push, and then the engineers telling drivers who is on a push lap. Adam, great question. So purples, you'll hear people use colors to refer to sector times. So if somebody is going, what the hell? AlphaTauri just driving over to the middle of the track. Go on, Yuki. So if somebody is on a sector and the sector is slower than their fastest sector, it'll be a yellow, so not a best. If it's green, that means it's their personal best sector. And if it's purple, it's the overall current fastest sector. And you'll see that indicated on the right here in the lap time chart as well. Verstappen already 24.75, like we suggested, on a used soft. New soft. I mean, this tire's 5 laps old. He's got a couple tenths in a new tire, easy. No worries, Adam. My pleasure. Welcome to the stream as well. An interesting point from Sabu is there have been pole positions where the driver has not had a single purple sector. But right, also keep in mind that every time the session switches, the lap times for the sector colors reset. Q1, Q2, Q3, and so on. And there have been poles with a purple and 2 yellows. Also true. The blue subsectors in multi-viewer indicate that the driver is in the pit lane, which is a really cool visual feature, so you can quickly see when people are in the pits. Charles has got a good question. He says, where are the Mercedes relative to the Ferrari this weekend? Still, we have no idea. P1 was chaos, and then they're running out of sync in different run plans, so the track is ramping up massively. Mercedes have ran a new soft. They're slightly faster right now. They're just around a 125 flat. Verstappen, a 124.7 on a used soft. Leclerc on an outlap now. Martin says, how can I support you without buying stuff with the €5 super chat? Dude, thank you so much, man. First of all, and if you don't want to buy stuff, the best way is this. I'll send a link here. The best, I don't rely on donations or anything to support this, to support me. They're very generous and I appreciate them. But if you want something in return for it, check out Buy Me a Coffee. Consider becoming a member for $5 or £5 a month, I think it is. You get access to all of my F1 analysis newsletters. So I'm giving you something back, and I think it's super high value. But seriously, Martin, thank you so much for the €5 super chat. I appreciate that. There's a free report. There's several free reports if you go to buymeacoffee.com/break. And then go to posts. There's a lot of stuff which is not for members, which anybody can see. And you get a good idea of what you get for the price of a coffee a month. So Ocon's got a lap deleted. 4 minutes 53 to go. Verstappen still at the top of Q2 without running a new tire. He has tires fit to the car right now in the garage. The car is plugged in and turned on because I can see his onboard. A red? I don't know about a red, Adam, but a red flag is the session will be stopped and everybody enters the pit lane. Verstappen is getting ready to go out on a fresh set of softs. Shaki on the front left tire. Famous Danish mechanic. Why would Max waste a set of softs? Well, here's the thing to look at now. Currently, the cutoff, as it stands, is 9/10. I'm not entirely sure they're too excited about softs in the race. They might. I think it's relatively low risk. Max has only used 2 sets of softs, right? So what does he have? He's run 2 sets of softs. And he has 4 sets of soft left for the weekend. He only needs 1 for sprint qualifying. There's no reason not to run a new soft right now, basically. Rory, if you find a clip of that, I'd love that. Just because I like the drama. So, Sainz and Leclerc have lost laps at turn 4 and 5. First Piastri pole, it could happen. Why was his trainer waving his finger at him? On board with Max behind the Ferrari. What are they doing? What the what is Leclerc doing? Being a Ferrari fan is painful. I understand. Condolences, mate. Right, 1 minute to go. Who we got? We've got Ocon, Albon, Hulkenberg, Sainz, and Bottas. I don't expect to see Albon, Hulkenberg, or Bottas in The knockout zone is probably Alpine's at this rate. Maybe Perez hasn't run another tire. Alpine, Bottas is gone, Hulkenberg's gone, Albon's gone, and maybe the Alpines. Kaori, that was weird. Signs noted, driving erratically. Checo at risk? I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think Perez is at risk. He hasn't run a second tire yet. So, okay. Only P9. Okay, Perez is at risk. Yeah. Definitely Tsunoda, sorry. AlphaTauri, definitely gonna get booted, honestly. Signs should bump Bottas out. Signs is done. No, Signs isn't on a lap right now. Signs is done. Albon's on a lap, but I don't think he's going to do it. I think Perez is safe. Oh, he is... Wait, what? Perez lap time deleted! Ah! Oh, you can't do that. I was like, why did Checo go to P13? Bottas gets through? Oh. Yeah. Albon's still on a lap. That's not happening. Congratulations, Max. Yeah, Albon pitted. I mean, a lot of people turn 5. Oh my god, dude, what's going on? So we've had a little bit of chaos this session. We've got end of Q1. We've got Lance shoving his trainer. It looks like we've lost Signs somehow. Leclerc's P8, which is 7/10 off. Oofed. Signs potentially a penalty? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think Sainz is getting a penalty for that. I'd be annoyed if he did. It wasn't like that bad. Hamilton? Ooh, Hamilton spicy. A 24-3. Are we getting into the 23s today, ladies and gentlemen? From what I've heard, wind gust at turn 5 causing the issue. Yeah, look at that. I mean, it was tight. It was a good corner, but they've deemed that to be out. Ooh, they're interviewing Lance. Lance is in the interview pin, just telling them to fuck off. The signs shoving Verstappen off the track, all I can think of is Verstappen replying to signs. They're using my trick against me. I feel bad for that. Mm. Did you guys hear the Stroll interview on the Sky feed? Oof. Oof. He just basically said swears and they just told him to, yeah, he said nothing basically except for F. The TV milking that trainer shove, so are we. Come on. We love the drama here, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the language there. It's 2023. What are the track limit prone turns? 4 and 5 have been huge. 4 is, yeah, 4 and 5. It's just the exit track limits, is it? Yepa says 8th time that Perez has missed Q3 this year. What happened to Carlos? I'm not sure. He didn't make it. I don't think he lost a time. So we just have to wait and see what happened. I mean, the analysis points for this is like, what do we do? Fun fact, you can be fined for swearing in Qatar. Oh no. Signs had a lap time deleted. Signs hasn't had a fast time deleted. If he maybe backed out of one, possibly. Signs didn't have a fast time deleted. Okay, Ori, we'll catch you later. Have a great evening or day. Perez was super close. So going into Q3, somehow Bottas, we lost Sainz and Perez, so Bottas has snuck his way in. But Leclerc and Alonso kind of, yeah. Max has this thing where he absolutely destroys his teammates. And I've heard so many people go on about the narrative that Red Bull developed the car for Max. Anybody that says that has never had anything to do with developing a race car, because that's not really how it works. It might have worked like that 100 years ago when we didn't have good data and methods and tools, but you make the fastest car you can and then you put as much balance in the car or front end in the car as you can, and it goes as fast as possible. The idea of like tailoring a car to someone's characteristics deliberately is interesting, because I've spent a shitload of time working on the car to help improve the performance for Max's teammates effectively. So we spent more time trying to improve the other driver to find tools and methods and setups that helped them go faster than we did saying, how do we tailor the car to Max? We never did that. So I probably shouldn't say stuff like that, but it's one of those weird narratives, and hopefully it's going away. More people hear me say that and they're like, okay. So on the track, Bottas out. Bottas focusing on clean track. We're still going to have some track improvement. So expecting Bottas to run 2 sets of softs. How many softs does Bottas have left? Bottas has run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 softs. How many did he run in P1? Bottas is on his last set of new softs. I believe he's on 6. Valtteri is out on new softs, but I think that's his 6th set of softs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So Valtteri does not have a new set of softs if he makes sprint qualifying 3. He's currently on scrubbed softs, but he's used in total 6 new sets. He does not have a further new set of soft tires to run. Break, are you going to be Max's engineer for the Le Mans 24-hour? You know, I have joked about, not joked, I've been looking at going back and learning sports cars and running some GT3s to learn the ropes of endurance racing, but I don't think that's for next year. So I think Max will want somebody who's quite experienced. Oh my God, Leclerc! Oh! Yeah, I mean, turn 4. Super committing to the entry. A scrubbed tire is a tire that's been previously used. It could be 1 lap old, it could be 20 laps old or more. It doesn't really, it just means it's been heat cycled at some point. I mean, Leclerc on a new set of softs. I mean, this is the time to try that. I don't have a favorite driver. Yeah, King Polar, so to answer your question, I'm very unlikely to have any serious role in endurance or sports car racing in the next year. But I would like to work with Max again at some point, but that depends on if I go back to racing. Danku, you're welcome. The Astons using scrub tires is another interesting topic. So Aston have apparently a theory that if you put a heat cycle in the tires, just an outlap and back in without stressing the tire too much, it improves the grip and performance for the next run. I haven't seen them doing that lately though. Double Alpine in Q3? That's weird, isn't it? Verstappen, purple sector 1 right now. 30.7. I mean, Max is literally 3/10 faster than anybody else in Sector 1 already. Piastri at 24.5, not bad. I mean, if Max puts this together, we're going to see a low 24, a high 23. Yeah, Quab's definitely 23s possibly. 23.7. Oof. Big oof. Russell, 0.6 down on Max. Not bad. But I don't know who's going to get closer to Verstappen here. The Alpine's obviously not a challenge. Hamilton on a strong lap, 24.3. Basically tied on Russell. Not much difference. Back to the normal programming, precisely. Lap time deleted means that the lap has been deleted from the timetables, so they've probably exceeded the track limits, and if you set your tires outside of the white line, lap time removed. Track improvement, I think we're still seeing track improvement throughout, and the drivers are finding the limit, but yeah. Karun making an interesting comment that the Ferrari seems to be the most wind sensitive. And that's really hard to substantiate, but it's probably... Yeah. Norris's engineer missed the Ferrari on a push. Nico, do you like sprint races? He asks. No, I don't like sprint races. I hate sprint race weekends now. I just don't enjoy them. Personal preference, not an objective statement at all. I just don't enjoy them. So, right now, Verstappen is 5.2 tenths clear of anyone. Norris doesn't have a time on the board yet. He had a 24 flat that was deleted, which would have put him P2. So, Norris has got a chance. Norris had the exact same thing happen as Perez, basically. Would I prefer if the sprint was on a Friday? No, I'd prefer if the sprint didn't exist. Right. Max is going early with 3 minutes 40 left in the session. He'll start his flying lap early. I think he's basically just trying to see how much lap time he can put into everybody else. The Dutch commentators are always about Max. The British commentators, this guy like Mercedes clearly, but it's kind of hard not to talk about Max a lot this season as well. Whose car is parked in the pit lane? Why is Russell just stopped? What is Russell doing? Okay. I'm not sure if that's not allowed. So Russell may be getting a reprimand. Imagine Russell gets the penalty for it and everybody's gonna be upset. Well, Max did it, he didn't get a penalty. Interesting. It's very interesting. It's interesting what they did. I agree with Karun's take on that. You should not be able to park your car in the fast lane. If you want to make a gap, sit in the garage. Max didn't set that lap. Max is going for a slow lap. Come on, Norris. Norris is currently P10. This will determine where he slots in on Sunday. So can he put a good lap in? A personal best right now? He's clean at 4. Good at 5. Excellent. It looks hooked up. No, Norris is not completely hooning it there. He was being cautious. So he's 2/10 off for Verstappen in Sector 1. 2/10 off for Verstappen in Sector 1. Good. That's a good lap. They should be good in the rest of Sector 2. Did Norris go exit of turn 10? Did Norris go wide, exit turn 10? Yeah, I think that's cooked, isn't it? Watch them not see it. So Max isn't doing a victory run. We're waiting to... I think Norris has gotten dumped there. Hamilton... No, he doesn't even have a personal best Sector 1. And Sector 2 doesn't look good. I mean, Russell could improve. Hamilton's not improving at all. Russell could get him. No. Okay. Okay, so Russell has done Hamilton, but I think Norris gets dropped, honestly. Piastri's flying. P4, he also drops Hamilton. Gasly P8. Okay. Ocon and Bottas. Okay, fine. Ferrari kind of struggling right now. I'm still waiting to see if Norris gets dumped. I think Norris, yeah. Did Norris say, I think I'm so fucked sometimes? Or so shit sometimes? Yeah. Too much speed and has a snap on the exit and pushes him off the line. So Norris does not have a lap time set. Norris will start P10 then, if that's true. How can they be so... I don't know, honestly. Max had the same... Max also lost his lap as well. Lots of laps getting aboard or deleted there. Everybody's sliding. I think the wind ramped up at the end of Q3. So real quick, everybody, if you're in the stream right now, that link right there, click on it, click on notify me. I will go live in about 2 hours for the qualifying data analysis. It will probably be a very short stream to talk about what happened in qualifying. We'll look at people getting knocked out in Q1. We'll look at what happened in Q2, and just a quick little analysis and a quick chit chat. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in a couple of hours. I hope you guys have enjoyed this watch along stream. Don't forget, we're doing sprint race watch along, not sprint. I'm not gonna do sprint qualifying. I'm gonna chill out tomorrow, and we'll be doing the Grand Prix watch along on Sunday. So go over to Break F1 on YouTube, go to the live tab, and click notify me for the rest of the streams for this weekend, so you don't miss a beat and you can come here and hang out. Be sure to check out the Discord link in the description as well. Feel free to join the Discord community, and thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for vibing with us, and we'll be back shortly with a little qualifying analysis after I get some dinner and maybe have another coffee. But seriously, thank you guys for hanging out, and hit that like button and tell your friends. Tell your friends, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Seriously, everybody that's been new to the stream, everybody that's chat, interacted, hung out with us, I hope you enjoyed it. Adam, great questions, man. Welcome to Formula One, buddy, and we'll see you guys in a little bit, all right? Cheers, Bill. Cars Go Vroom, Sarah. Appreciate you guys. Big up your local butcher. Exactly. Peace out.